It's been a little bit since the last time we were with NXT, and I mean, there's a reason for that. It's because, honestly, I don't want to document everything, and I just want to be able to play the game. But this is something worth documenting as Bray Wyatt won the belt, the championship, beginning of August at the TV taping in a triple threat, and then beat Xavier Woods, Dante Dash, who won a Battle Royal, and now Bray is getting called up. Because the one thing that I totally ignored is the fact that, for lack of a better word, when people get called up is when they hit over 30 in popularity. I knew about it, but I thought that maybe I'd get lucky and maybe that they would give me the opportunity to give him a little bit more time. But I don't know why they would have given me the opportunity to give him more time if he's not anything like anybody else. Also, I just got Alexa Bliss. Alexa was just signed by WWE out of developmental. She graduated from the Performance Center. And off the top of my head, I believe Alexa started as a manager. I believe she started as a manager. I may go the same route with her. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm still figuring out the rest of the developmental. I've filled out the roster with some veterans like Chris Masters, Raven, Nick Dinsmore, Matt Taven, Sean Waltman, Paul Burchill, them boys, them guys, the Revival are here because Dash Wilder was also signed. The one thing that I have to do is start hoping that WWE starts filtering out talent that they want from me with the cause of either releasing people from developmental deals or I have to start getting rid of the veterans that I brought in because, number one, the roster's getting a little bloated, and number two, it's just if the people, if some of these guys are not showing potential, they shouldn't stick around. Like, they shouldn't just stick around for the sake of sticking around. They should be able to be sent away. And it shouldn't just be the guys that I brought in. It should be anybody that has the potential to be sent away. Like I brought in Raven with the intention of having him help with the ratings. I understand having somebody like Raven in is not necessarily going to help. It's going to hurt because financially we can't afford him. But I also brought in somebody like Santana Garrett because she is supposed to help with the fact that she is a solid in-ring talent. Travis Banks was somebody that I enjoyed having around for the time being, but I mean, if there's one person that I don't have any use for, it's El Torito. Because I'm not going to have, a mini go in the ring against, like, how do I use Torito? And I can't get him up to the status where they would bring him up. Because I'm not going to use him unless I book him as a manager. Unless I start using him as a manager. But I mean, you look at it, and there's a number of people that are either retired now, or you may not realize started in WWE's developmental. Paul Ellring's here to help with direction with the Legion of Doom. And you got some people just here as depth. Am I disappointed that Bray Wyatt's gone? Yes. Should I have 64 people and we only need 16? I mean, that's a legitimate question. I do have a bad habit of bloating my roster. I honestly do. And we're actually closing in on small size. We are actually closing in on the small size. So that's actually good. But the one thing I would also say is that we are actually making money. Attendance wise, every show, for the most part, it's going up in attendance. Every show, for the most part, is going up in attendance. July, the reason why the attendance was a little off is because I was floating around. I was floating around, but for the NXT Live events, NXT Live, there's 4 events each month, and all 4 of them we go up. NXT Takeover, all 4 of them we've gone up. Well, I wanted to sell out this one, so that's why we didn't go up that one. But we got a sellout in July, and we got a sellout. We didn't get a sellout because there's no 444. But let's show history. Takeover. We were at a new building for that takeover, but we were in Full Sail University for this takeover. And we were at the FCW Arena for that one. We had 2 back-to-back sellouts, and had I looked at the arena, we probably would have had a third. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, we're getting there. We're going to be profitable. That's the first goal. The second goal is finding people like Chris Masters, like Raven, like Sean Waltman, that are able to come in and help with the ratings to boost us up to the next level, to help elevate the talent that is already on the roster, so I could pick and choose. But the fact of the matter is, I can't have Raven, Chris Masters, Matt Taven, Sean Waltman, Nick Dinsmore, everybody coming in and them feuding with each other. Well, I mean, I can because that's where you start, but I can't have that and have them not benefiting the guys that are already on the roster. But I was actually tempted. I was actually tempted to. We're actually lower worker costs. We actually have lower worker cost now than we did. We actually have lower worker costs now than when we started, so that's actually good. Why do we have more? Hmm. We have higher show costs, but we're also making more sales, which actually is kind of the point. And we got less of this. We've gotten less because of the worker to cost. If anybody can offer some advice on that, I didn't realize we had merchandise in the developmental. But if anybody can offer some advice on the financial report, let me know down in the comment section below. Apparently, we also signed James Mitchell. Or WWE signed James Mitchell and then sent him down to me. Why James Mitchell is now a member of the WWE roster, I don't hate it, but I do hate the fact that James is basically an unknown because he has not been featured on television in God knows how long. But Rita Dorada. Perorito. See, this is when I wish that they would. You know, this is when I wish that they would. What's it called? This is when I wish that they would. Wait, we're in Full Sail? This is when I wish they would allow me to borrow people from development from the main roster, but they don't. $150. No, we shouldn't be in Full Sail. We should go back to the venue we do the live events at. Save a bit of cash, and also it's an arena that's kind of built for our type of event. But now I gotta figure out something. I gotta figure out how. Number one, how do I get Luke Harper and Eric Rowan up to the main roster? Because the fact that Bray Wyatt's getting called up and the other members of the Wyatt family are not is kind of bothering me. But also, it is the idea of how do I get Luke Harper up? I mean, how do I, like, what do I do? What direction do I go? What I mean is, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest with you. I also just want to point something out in a second that some of you might actually know who Judas Devlin is, because I know who he is. There he is. Judas Devlin is a former WWE developmental prospect, aka Luchasaurus. And also the man that will be scouted by the debuting James Mitchell. Because it's fitting. Clearly scouting. And now we jump forward. I know I can't let Bray leave without laying on his back, but there's part of me that wants there is part of me that genuinely does want to see Bray win. Like, I want to keep Bray strong going up to the main roster and not have him lose. But the fact of the matter is, how does that affect my roster? How does that affect my talent? And the answer to that question is, it affects my talent by the fact that it makes my talent look weak, having them having Bray not lose to them on the way out. And this one. Sasha Banks. Boom. I'm tired getting involved. I'm tired of you sneaking around. I'm tired of it. All of it. If you want a shot, you got it. Byron is our interviewer. Last time I checked, a singles match doesn't matter when you challenge it, when you're challenging the tag team champions. I honestly don't know what I want to do with Bray. I know I don't have to make my decision now, but it's not going to make it easy. Honestly, it's not going to be easy making my decision, period. You know, to be frank, it's not going to be, my decision's not going to be easy, period. Because I don't know what I want to do. You know, I honestly don't know what I want to do as far as he's concerned, because of the fact that I love Bray Wyatt and I wanted to keep him. I wish I didn't put him in put him in the place to get a title shot, to where now he's getting called up to the main roster, because that's the last thing I wanted, was for him to get called up to the main roster. You know, the last thing I wanted was for him to get called up to the main roster, because I didn't want to lose him. You know, it's that simple. I didn't want to lose him, but I did. You know, I did lose him, and it sucks. How did I just book the match and I don't remember who's in it? I just booked the match and I don't remember who's in it. Briley Pierce. And Travis Tyler. How did how does that happen? Where I just booked the match and I don't remember who's in it. I mean, I have options. I do. Xavier Woods is an option to take the belt. Neville's an option to take the belt. Corey Graves is an option to take the belt. A lot of people are options to take the belt. A lot of people are options to take the belt. But not many are options that I want to take the belt, because it's also the idea that even if I have them take the belt, what do I do with it after the fact? And that was the issue with putting the belt on Bray in the first place, and why I was tempted to put it on Neville or keep it on Xavier Woods, but I decided to make that decision to put it on Neville. To put it on Bray. I just didn't expect Bray to get the type of jump, popularity-wise, that he did. Yes, so Jake Carter is going to play the part of Alexa's piece for right now. And we're going to start getting her over as a manager like she did in real life, or like she was in real life. We're going to start her as a manager like she was in real life. CJ and Tyler Breeze, we throw them on the pre-show. CJ. And this is also why it makes sense now that James Mitchell would take over for Judas Devlin and bring him under his control, because Judas Devlin just lost. This is actually Paige's first loss, and I knew Santana would be the good person to have her lose too. This will lead to a tag team match. I honestly expected the heels to lose. That's why I had the babyfaces get attacked. Which now it just looks like they're adding insult to injury, which actually isn't too out of the ordinary. Not horrible, I guess. It's good that she got a good rating. We increased our popularity in 10 regions. That's what matters, right? We increased our popularity in 10 regions. That's what matters, right? Sean Waltman wants a piece of me. Well, name the time. Because I'm not hard to find. Call Bailey out. You want to call Bailey out? Well, how about I call you out? Because you only got this shot out of jealousy. And I just want to point something else out. I believe it was... No, that was a promo for Dante. Excuse me. Ah, no, that's not it. Ah, I had Dusty cut a promo with Bray, basically saying that, um, he was hearing, if you will, that Bray could be getting a call sooner rather than later, and lo and behold, sooner rather than later, Bray got that call. So Bray could be disappearing. A busy time because he's got a target on his back from challengers wanting a chance. Well, we shall do a triple threat. We shall do a triple threat. Where potential challengers will have the opportunity to fight Bray Wyatt, and the winner of the triple threats will fight in a second triple threat match at the upcoming pay-per-view takeover. The winner will get the opportunity to fight Bray Wyatt for the NXT championship at one of the live events. AKA the live event after the takeover. Gotta have them featured. And the Legion of Doom. Will be featured next week. And I just saw how long this episode was running, so I'm going to cut it here, and I will pick it up in the next one, where we go through this episode of NXT and the next one as well. With that being said, I do apologize for cutting it off so abruptly, but, you know what? Screw it. We'll finish this episode. I'm not gonna cut it off like that. That's stupid. I'm not gonna cut it off like that. That's not fair to you guys. I apologize. I apologize for even considering it. And you know what? I'm actually reconsidering. It will not be... It'll be a 4-way at TakeOver. It'll be a 4-way at TakeOver. The winner of one, the winner of another, and the winner of another, it will be a 4-way at the next TakeOver for the NXT Championship. Harper will be in it with his brethren, as I'm not surprised that Luke Harper got the win here. I wanted to use him, and that's what I did. Raven probably should have included the other guys too, but oh well. Becky has to get used. Sasha and Paige set up their match at TakeOver. Nick Dinsmore gets the win, so Nick Dinsmore's in the match at TakeOver. Dusty does what Dusty does, and Corey Graves removes or takes out Xavier Woods. So Corey Graves, Luke Harper, and Nick Dinsmore are in the TakeOver 4-way for the opportunity to make sure that Bray Wyatt does not leave with the NXT Championship. If you do enjoy this episode, if you are enjoying this series, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.